What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday in Black Ops 6, we apparently got an update that buffed the Belt-Fed mod in Black Ops 6. And with this, they stated they increased the number of rounds fired needed to overheat. The overheat now dissipates more quickly, and the base LMG ADS firing move speed penalty has been removed when equipping the Belt-Fed attachment. So for those that aren't aware, with LMG specifically, when you're firing, you actually move a little bit slower. So if you're aiming down sight and shooting your gun, you'll be strafing slower while firing versus not firing. And with this update, when using the Belt-Fed mod, it's meant to eliminate that penalty. On top of this, for this small update, they mentioned they addressed an issue where players could encounter a max build limit reached error. So this morning, of course, immediately I went in to test this update, and the first thing I noticed is the increased number of rounds fired needed to overheat with the Belt-Fed mod. That's not true. It overheated in the exact same number of shots for every one of the LMGs. Then I was testing the overheat value since it's meant to dissipate more quickly. Again, no change here, that's exactly the same. And then finally, with that ADS firing movement speed penalty, with this part, it appears this actually went through properly, and there isn't a penalty when aiming down sight, strafing, and firing when using the Belt-Fed mod, whereas without the Belt-Fed mod, that penalty still exists. So it appears one out of these three adjustments did apply to the Belt-Fed mod, but most of the buffs didn't actually happen with this update like they were supposed to. And that's very interesting considering this is a very small update, and it was only meant to be changing a few things, and most of those few things didn't actually apply properly here. So I suspect they'll end up fixing this at some point and bringing us the proper buff to this, and once they do, of course, I will be covering it, but I just wanted to make sure I was spreading the word and letting you guys know that this buff hasn't actually applied yet. Now, as for my thoughts on them buffing the Belt-Fed attachments, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised to see this. I know some of the discourse online has been quite negative toward the Belt-Fed mod. It seems a lot of people expected the ability to spray like 100 rounds before overheating. But if that were the case, without any additional penalties like a massive handling or mobility penalty, that would be an absolute no-brainer attachment for the LMGs, and I would argue that would be totally overpowered since there'd be no reason to ever use LMGs without that Belt-Fed mod attachment. And honestly, in my opinion, the current state of the Belt-Fed mod is already great, and I've already put it on almost all of my LMG setups. So I think it's already one of the best attachments, and they're planning on buffing it at least, or they had planned on buffing it. So like I said, I am a bit surprised to see this because I think it's great as is, but it does appear a buff is coming at some point soon. Now, interestingly, something I also noticed about a week ago is they have acknowledged the forward intel bug where in most matches, your forward intel perk, if you're using it on your class setup, it's not actually working. And the only way to get it to work is to edit your class mid-game, switch away from forward intel and switch back to it. And then more often than not, that tends to fix it. And then forward intel will actually be working after that point for the rest of that match. But that's not a guarantee. And oftentimes this workaround didn't even work. It's nice to see that they have acknowledged this on their Trello board, and the Trello does mention that there's a fix scheduled, so it's not out yet. However, I thought since we did get this minor update yesterday that was meant to fix the Belt-Fed mod, maybe they slipped this in there as well and they just haven't updated their Trello yet. And as far as I can tell, that is actually the case. It does appear that forward intel is now fixed. I tested on 5 matches, and for all 5 matches, my forward intel perk was working right from the beginning of the match. No workaround needed. So to me, that indicates that this was most likely fixed, but it is an inconsistent bug. So it's possible that I just got lucky 5 times out of 5. Seems unlikely though, since more often than not before yesterday's update, forward intel just wasn't working at all for me. So for those of you guys that have been playing lately, like on Saturday or late Friday night, since this update did come in the evening yesterday, please let me know if you guys have run into the forward intel bug where it's just not working when it's applied on your class setup, or has forward intel actually been working 100% of the time for you like it should be. In either case, that is going to wrap it up for today's quick video. Definitely a weird update. It's always frustrating to see things like this where they say they fixed something and then something didn't get fixed. Which, I mean, if it's a small part of a big update that doesn't get fixed, that's understandable, not a big deal. But this time around, it's just so strange that this update was meant to do essentially one primary thing and it didn't do that primary thing. Now this, combined with the fact that we just haven't been seeing a whole lot of communication or little bug fixes and stuff coming on a regular basis, has me wondering if Treyarch is like largely transitioned into the next Call of Duty game, because from a recent leak yesterday, it does appear that Treyarch is actually leading the upcoming Call of Duty this year, which a lot of people are calling Black Ops 7. It might be Black Ops 7, I don't know. It's rumored to be a sequel to Black Ops 2. And if that is true, and it is Treyarch that's taking lead on that, this would be the first time that a studio has led back-to-back Call of Duty games. And perhaps that's why we're seeing issues like this, as well as not a whole lot of communication lately. Although, maybe that's also just due to the fact that Season 3 has been delayed. So it feels like we're in a big dry spell right now, because we actually are. And by now, if Season 3 wasn't delayed, we should have been starting to get some information about Season 3, some hype building up for that. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on here, but it definitely doesn't feel great to have an update announced and nothing apply, whereas another element that we've been waiting on a fix for apparently has been fixed, but they haven't acknowledged that they've fixed that there. So definitely some confusion and poor communication going on right now. I figured it was worth making this video anyway, just to keep you guys updated on what's going on, or not going on in this case. And with that, this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. First off, what are your thoughts on the fact that this update didn't go through? And second, I am just curious to hear what you guys think about the stated changes that should be coming soon to the Belt-Fed mod. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think this mod really didn't need a buff? Or do you disagree? Do you think it's really weak and it needs some more love? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.